Okay, everyone, we're gonna get started soon. So if you are able, if you're a senator, if you're able, please keep your cameras on. As a sign of respect to the rest of your fellow senators. Okay, so Jackie, let me know when you're ready. We'll get started.
Okay. Call the meeting to order.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 7:56 p.m.
Okay. Evan,
Here.
Monica,
Here.
Lily,
Here.
Courtney,
Here.
Jenna,
Here.
Kimber,
Here.
Willa,
Here.
Zafir,
Here.
Claire, Cole,
Here.
Jordan,
Here.
Meg,
Here.
Naya,
Here.
Ifani, Natalie.
Here.
Yes, gotcha. Natalie, Renee,
Here.
Karen,
Here.
Kyron, gotcha. I just saw your message. Thank you. Jacob,
Here.
James,
Here.
Alex,
Here.
Justin,
Here.
Izzy, Ariel, Theo, Pow.
Here.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Now we're gonna move on with the approval of, the invocation. Can I have a first-year senator read the invocation?
I can read it.
Thank you.
May we, the Student Senate, have the wisdom, patience, and guidance to be responsible representatives. May we be fair in judgments, enlightened in our discussions, and ethical in our actions. Can I get a go Broncos?
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Okay. And next up, we're going to move on with the land acknowledgement. Can I have a senator at large read the land acknowledgement? Come on.
I can go.
Thanks, Pal.
We pause to acknowledge that Santa Clara University sits on the land of the Ohlone and Muwekma Ohlone people who trace their ancestry through the Mission Dolores, Santa Clara, and San Jose. We remember their connection to this region and give thanks for the opportunity to live, work, learn, and pray on their traditional homeland. Let us take a moment of silence to pay respect to their elders and to all Ohlone people of the past and present.
Okay, thank you, Pal. Next up, we have the approval of the previous minutes. So the previous minutes were already sent, but Chris is just going to show them real quick on his screen. If you see that anything that is wrong, or if you want to point anything out, just feel free to let us know.
Can everyone see those?
Yes.
Motion to approve previous minutes.
Motion from Jenna, second from
Claire.
All those in favor of approving the previous minutes, say aye.
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 All of those opposed? Okay, the previous minutes have been approved. Now we're going to go on with the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Motion from Jordan, second from Meg. All those in favor say aye.
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 All of those opposed? Okay, the agenda has been approved. Now we're going to go back to revise the task force bylaw that Ali presented last week. She sent an email giving more clarification instructions on not only the bylaw, but also on rules on the standing rules on debating and voting and all those different procedures. So if Ali or Chris, y'all want to share your screen?
I have it up if you want, Chris, or I can go either way.
Yes, I can stop sharing.
Okay. All right. These are the standing rules, but here's the task force bylaw. Yep.
Yes, Willa.
My one question was if how this would relate to like university task forces, if it would have any effect, or like what that relation would be with ASG task forces.
These are simply ASG task forces.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, one more. Would a university task, so like I'm thinking with the Just Labor Task Force, how it like at first was an ASG task force and now it's been approved as a university task force. Will it now not?
After then it's spread its wings and flown the coop.
Okay.
I don't really know. I think that goes beyond the scope of our our bylaws. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
So as you all can see, we went over this last week, but below possible amendments, these are the 4 amendments that Ali was talking about that we can add. If you all read the entire bylaw, that we can add. And so I know there was some debate or some points that were brought up last week. So right now I'm going to ask senators to bring up any questions or comments they'd like to make. If not, I would entertain a motion to amend the bylaws by adding all these amendments. Justin.
Hi, everyone. I guess I just wanted to bring in like some context, I guess, as to why like task forces were created in the very first place. I had the idea of task forces my sophomore year when I was trying to do Splash. And one of the difficulty that I found when I first tried starting Splash was like I wanted to get a team of people together to do something to kind of hold this event, but there was really no organizational structure, and it was obviously like, or it was just very difficult to do that given the current structure of ASG at that point in time. And when I had brought the idea up with members of exec and with members of Senate exec, even though they were supportive, they weren't like they weren't supportive enough, at least in my view of things, and like and that's why like I wanted to like kind of create my own organization that was still related to ASG while still having like kind of full control over like what was being done in that organization, because it was kind of like what I wanted to be my vision and not like that of like someone in exec or someone on Senate exec who didn't really like have anything to do with it, which is why like when I see like the possible amendments of the third one specifically, the ASG member must not be an official member of any task force they oversee. I think it should be removed completely, because say there's a task force, if the person overseeing it does not agree with the person like who's in charge of the committee, like I don't see how that would work. I think the person overseeing it should be a leader within the task force. And then for the fourth one, remove the ability for VP to delegate to other ASG members to oversee task forces. I'm not really sure where I stand on this. I don't think like I guess if you remove the third one, I would also want to remove the fourth one, because like I think the VP can delegate to other people, but like I don't know if that has to be explicitly like written in the bylaws. Maybe Ali, you can correct me on that. But the way I kind of see it is like the person who's in charge of like the task force who's overseeing it, or like the person like in charge of the task force like should be the one overseeing it. It doesn't really make sense for me that the VP is delegating it to other people. Like I feel like that's like a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
just want I to clarify that before you continue on, which I think you're doing great, Justin. But that amendment is regarding section 3 here, which is that the vice president might be able to choose other people to oversee it. This is like more of an oversight rather than like running the task force. So those two suggestions relate to getting rid of like this requirement of who can oversee a task force, or getting rid of this portion, electing
got
to
it.
have someone else oversee it, just to clarify.
Thanks for the clarification, Ali.
Mhm.
But so actually, no, it does make sense for the VP to delegate to other people if that VP wants to delegate it to the person who's actually going to be running the day-to-day like things for the task forces. So with that, I would like to motion to make motion to make the following changes to this amendment. I would like to remove section 3A completely, which is the ASU member must not be an official member of any task force they oversee. And then I would also like to request changing within 7 days to when the next student senate next convenes. And then I would also like to remove campaign goals and special from the definition of task forces, because I think that's kind of implied. I don't think it needs to specifically be written in the bylaws. I think if the president wants to do something like that, they can feel free to, but like it doesn't have to be within like the bylaws, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, that's the motion. That was a long motion and probably incorrect, but yeah.
So Justin, just to make sure and for clarification purposes, you are adding all these amendments. You're motioning to amend the bylaw with the first 3, and the only one you wouldn't be adding is removing the ability of the VP to delegate, just to make sure.
Exactly.
Okay. That is a motion from Justin. Second from Jordan. All of those in favor of amending the bylaws by the...
You can open the floor for debate now, Carmen, on that motion, because that's amendable if anyone wants to take.
Okay.
Motion. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm opening the floor for a motion to debate then, Ellie?
Just if anyone wants to comment, it's not even
to comment on Justin's motion. And I think Willa had her hand up.
Just a clarification. Justin, you're saying you want to remove 3A, not 3 in its entirety.
Let me look at 3A in its entirety. Yeah, I want to remove 3A.
Okay, but then what would be left would be like B would become 3A.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was my question.
And then Justin, did you want to say anything again?
Nope.
Okay.
It seems like there isn't any debate. So with that, I motion to vote.
Motion from Justin, motion from Justin to vote. Second from Powell. All those in favor of voting for the amendments above, please raise your hand. Actually, I'm going to do a roll call vote just to make it, because I don't trust the hand motion on Zoom. So all those in favor of voting for the above amendments, please raise. Jackie will roll call. Sorry, this is a mess. We'll call your name. We're gonna do a roll call vote. So
Okay.
Jackie, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Courtney,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Evan,
Yes.
Lily,
Yes.
Annika,
Yes.
Jenna,
Yes.
Kimber,
Yes.
Willa,
Yes.
Zafir,
Yes.
Claire,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Jordan,
Yes.
Meg,
Yes.
Naya,
Yes.
Ifani,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Renee,
Yes.
Max, Karen,
Yes.
Jacob,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
Justin,
Yes.
Izzy, Ariel, Theo, Pow.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, congratulations. The yeses have it. So the amendments have been adopted. Yay. So let's give everyone a round of applause, especially to Ali for working on this. Yay, super exciting.
So you still have to vote on the overall bylaw change. That was for the amendments.
The amendments now for the overall bylaw change.
Mhm.
Okay, can I get a motion to vote on the overall bylaw change? Would that be correct?
Motion to vote on the overall. Oh,
Motion from James,
Second.
second from Claire. Okay, then let's do so motion to adopt these the overall bylaw changes. Let's go do a hand raise vote on the participants chat. Okay, I think the yeses have it. The first was James, second was Claire. Jackie.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think this is, now we can say congratulations, right? This has been passed. Yay! Sorry about that, guys. It's kind of messy, but congratulations. Round of applause to Ali for working on this so hard. Okay, I think next up we have announcements. That was the only item on the agenda. Crazy.
Yes. Carmen, you want to start off? You want me to start off?
I'll start off and then I'll let you take over.
Sounds good.
Chris, do you mind sharing your screen?
Yes, I can.
Was that the QR code from last week?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oops. I need them to. Let's see if we can go back. Nope. Oh, yeah, well. Quick, let me just say this and I'll give it back to you, Carmen. Only 11 of you guys filled this out. So if you haven't filled this out, I need you guys to fill out this QR code. It's very important in terms of how Senate runs. Senate exec really needs you guys to fill this out so we can make Senate more smoothly and assist you guys in all your endeavors. So if you are not one of those 11 people, please fill this out tonight when we are done with Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So next up, I'm going to talk about, this is kind of like an announcements thing about Senate culture in general. So as we saw before, debate is allowed. And I think that there's this misconception that, you know, all documents should be read beforehand, which is like true, and that we can't discuss because we need to be mindful of time. And that's something that I recognize that I made the mistake of, you know, setting the calendar for our Senates until 8:30, which in reality they've lasted until 9, even 9:30. And before Justin Senate, I would say like during David's Senate when we were still in person, like debates, like Senate lasted until 9, 10. That was an expectation. Most senators, when they were signing up, they knew what they were signing up for. And basically you block out all your Thursday. And I know we all have other responsibilities, but we are the student government. We are senators. We signed up to be here. We ran to be here. And I think that's something that we owe to our constituents that we do represent. So just to make sure a debate is allowed. I think that if you have a question, if you're not sure, like, no, you can't just make motions to end the discussion or motions to vote without just and blindly follow. I think it's really important that we discuss what amendments, what resolutions, anything that's being passed. And again, the duration of Senate can last until 10 p.m. and that's what government is. That's what it looks like in the real world. And we need to be mindful of that. Like, I know we have homework, we have responsibilities, but that's something that we have to do beforehand. And that's something that we have to take into account before we make a big commitment like Senate is. And also like another one of respect. I think that I've said this a lot of times. We do have a lot of guest speakers here. We have people from administration who are really hard to reach if you're not in student government. And so I think that the least you could do is turn on your camera, sit down, turn on your camera. I'm very lenient. I'm not making you dress up business casual on Zoom. You can wear your PJs, you can wear sweatpants, like you can eat your dinner. That's totally okay. But the least you could do is show some respect to our administrators, and not just that, but your fellow senators. Again, I sent a message during the Slack when Dr. Kathleen Saxton was speaking, and a lot of people told me why they had their cameras off, and there were a lot of reasons why, and I respect that. But I just also like, I don't know, it's not fun to talk to blank squares, you know. So I don't want to sound like an annoying teacher, but I think that it's easier to engage with your fellow senators if you have your cameras on. So, and I will edit the Google calendars to end at 9:30 so that people block it off, because Senate isn't really a class. We usually have items on the agenda. Some take longer than anticipated. And so that's something that we have to keep in mind. So thank you guys for that. And then Chris, I'll hand it off to you.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm just gonna stop sharing real quick. If I can find you guys, that would be helpful. Okay, I'm back. I just have a few housekeeping items also. The first thing is Senate is recorded. With that in mind, you know, act accordingly because the school can see this. It is meant to be recorded so students can see that. Also with that in mind, just so you guys know, Senate is being uploaded to the ASG YouTube. So once we get those recordings off of the cloud, that's where you can find them if you guys want to refer back to the Senate and see what is happening. Also, just going back to the points Carmen hit, if you are disrespectful during Senate, and I will just give some examples of, you know, disrespect for those of you who might be wondering. These are just examples I've seen in the past 2 Zoom Senates: rolling your eyes when senators are asking questions during debate, you know, taking Snapchat photos, stuff like that nature, things that you could not do in a normal Senate. You will be sent over to judicial, and it's not going to be, oh, I'm gonna, you know, text you and say, oh, can you stop taking Snapchat photos? I've had 4 different times when I've come over and had to explain the rules of Senate. Granted, one of them was in the beginning of the year, and the second one was when we had the first years. But the other 2 times I shouldn't have had to come on here and sort of explain what's courteous and what's not courteous. Also, like Carmen said, eating is fine. If your, you know, roommate comes into your room, that is fine. You know, these are all real world issues we have to deal with. I understand that. And then another point I want to hit on is committee meetings. Your committee heads do a lot for Senate. They do a lot for Senate execs. So please be respectful of their time, because not only that, they are students also. It's not like they're just Senate committee heads who come here, go to Senate, and after that they're done with life. They do have jobs. Some of them do have jobs. Some of them have classes they have to get to. So be respectful of their time. And when you come to committee meetings, 1, come on time, but also 2, come prepared to speak. And with that, that's really all I have to say this week. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to Carmen or I. We're here to help. And also, just so you guys are aware, these results these comments aren't just from Senate exec. Of those 11 people who took to fill out the survey, a lot of the comments were disrespectful senators. They didn't name names, but they did say, you know, Senate is running smoothly other than the few disrespectful senators. So if you think that is you, you know, just take into consideration that your fellow senators are seeing you, you know, motioning while I'm scrolling, or rolling your eyes, or talking back, or, you know, putting up a fight for no reason. It's not just Carmen and I or Senate exec. And then also, I did see the other thing about projects. If you guys do need help with projects, like Angel always says, like Carmen and I say, reach out to us. We will help you. We're always here to help. You know, we're not here to pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. We will definitely find, you know, your little niche, and whatever that is, we're here to support you. So with that, I'm going to give it back to Carmen.
Thank you so much, Chris, for that reminder. Now I'm going to open up the floor for roundtable remarks. So if anyone wants to comment, again, Angel said this during all call, we are going to have our hike on Saturday, bright and early at 9 a.m. So please join. I'm going to be driving. More people are driving too. This is going to be a fun way to bond and to rep that ASG merch. So thanks, guys. Powell.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit to that conversation. Like I'll speak for myself. When I, you know, imply like, oh, like something was sent out earlier, or like you should have looked at it, it's so like you can wrap your head around it, so we can all wrap our head around it in order to have efficient and fruitful conversation and debate. Like debate and stuff, you can't expect for that to happen outside of Senate unless you like set up like some sort of Zoom. And I did this last year, like when I tried to pass a resolution, and this is just, I don't know if this might be helpful to like new senators as well. You can always like put like when you send out a resolution, like if you want to get feedback on it and stuff in the Slack in general or to like your committee, you can always set up like a Zoom hour where you're like, hey, I'm going to be sitting in front of Zoom for an hour working on this. If anybody wants to come in, if you can, and like just drop in and you can have a discussion about it. That way you're presenting something that is ready. And, you know, you've also given folks a chance to have some of these discussions outside of Senate so we can have like efficient big group discussions. That's just my little 2 cents.
Thank you, Pal. Any more comments or roundtable remarks? No.
Claire asked in the chat how long Angel just answered. Never mind. How long the hike will be? 1.5 to 2 hours.
Okay, yeah, it'll be 2 hours of fun. So y'all better be there. Put on your hiking shoes and y'all better be there. Okay. Any more roundtable remarks?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion from Justin.
Second.
Second from Hannah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, we adjourned at 8:22, y'all. I ended before 8:30. I am so proud of myself, but I can't guarantee this for every week. But okay, guys, I'm gonna stay here for a few more minutes, but if y'all are free to go, have a good rest of your week.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I can't come to the hike because midterms,
Okay,
but
All good.
that's totally understandable. We're gonna have more bonding activities too, so thank you so much.
I'm unfortunately in charge of picking my parents up at the airport at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So I will.
You are good.
I thought it was the next Saturday that the hike was, and I was like, great. And then I confused. Every
No
day of the
worries.
week is
We'll have
meshing
all
into
day.
me, but I'm really jealous and I wish that I could hike. So, but if we do another one, I would really love to come. So have fun and send me photos. It'll be fun.
Definitely. Good luck, Natalie.
Thank you.
I have practice on Saturday until like 10, so I probably won't be able to come.
All good, Jackie. You'll be missed though. You'll be missed.
Thank you.
I spelled Jerome.
It's okay.
Harley spelled
I
Jerome.
appreciate it. Anyway, sorry.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I was basically gonna say just stay to do the same. Good job, Carmen.
Yeah, good job, Carmen. That was really good.
Thanks, guys. I think you, Allie, because like I was like yesterday, like last week, I was like lost.